Ever felt torn between what your head and heart feels? It's almost like logic is asking you to move forward with one person, but the emotions are kind of not really there. Or your heart is saying, let's move forward, and then your logic is saying no. So, how do you resolve such a situation? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. Hello everybody, I am Vaishali Nekhade. I'm an engineer turned psychic with over 9,000 readings under my belt, and I show you how you can leverage the power of stars for your love life. So Anna, this is a true story with a fake name, and I've changed the circumstances a little bit so that you don't really know who it's about. It's a client of mine. So Anna was in such a scenario where her head and heart were pulling in one direction. Her heart was saying that she should move forward with the person, and logic was saying no, there were too many differences between the two of them and things would never really work out. So, how exactly do you resolve such a situation, especially when your heart can't help but just feel the feelings? This is what I'm going to cover in this video. So, your goal is to figure out if your head and heart are on the same page when you meet a person or they are colliding. And if your head and heart collide when you meet a person, essentially you need to figure out how you can get on a point or a decision where you kind of know the essence of the answer so that you don't end up spending time on something that is going to lead you to nowhere. So here's what we are going to cover in this video: how the head works, how the heart works, why you need a higher power to help you, how you can use your intuition, and how you can use signs from the universe, and how Anna resolved the situation. So let's go to the first part, which is how your head works. So the head is essentially, it rules logic, or it is completely based on logic. So essentially the way it would work, how logic would work, is that if it sees the color red, it's going to say that the color is red. If it sees the color blue, then it's going to say that the color is blue. So for instance, let's say that this is your head and this is your heart. That's not a nice heart. All right, this is your heart. So essentially the head, it rules logic, and the heart, it rules emotions. So when it comes to the head, it's just logic. And in Anna's scenario, she met this person whom she was very, very interested in because her heart was telling her that this is the person, and the head was saying no. And the way the head said no is one, okay, this is the difference. For instance, let's say that they speak different languages. So she's saying, oh my God, we speak different languages. So how are we going to understand each other? Because both of them had a common language to communicate, but it wasn't good on one side in the sense that she found it difficult to kind of understand that person, let's say. The second thing, let's say, is they came from totally different cultural backgrounds. So Anna, let's say, was raised in one country and this person was raised in another country, and she felt like the cultural differences between them were kind of big, and she wasn't really sure how they would be able to overcome these certain differences and kind of have a nice life together. The third thing, let's say, is I'm just going to make this up. Let's say that they lived in different places. So it was a long distance relationship, or they met kind of in a way where they were not physically in the same place. So this person is in one place, this person is in one place, and essentially for them to make this work, one of them would have to move. So essentially, she wasn't really sure if she was the one who was going to move or he was the one who was going to move. And even if they moved, she wasn't really sure if things were going to work out. So everything on the head side, it was telling her, no, 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 it's not going to work. All right, so now let's go to the heart. So as far as the heart was concerned, when she first met him, she had, in what I call in psychic language, is palpitations of the heart, which means that your heart beats in such a way that you can sense it. You can sense that this is different than some of the other people you have met. This person makes you feel different. Something is unique about this person, and her heart told her that by its behavior, sorry. So next is essentially, so that is just like, that is a physical kind of feeling in the heart, but there is also an emotional side to it, which is the feelings. And she felt very, very different. She felt like she was totally attracted to this person. She felt like this person made her smile. She felt that this person made her feel in such a manner that she hadn't felt like in a long time before, or that no one else had been able to make her feel. So essentially, she was able to kind of get that information from her heart, or her heart was conveying that information to her. And then let's say the third thing is whenever she thought about this person, or whenever she thought about writing to this person, she would feel really, really happy. When she would think about him, she would feel really, really happy. So now everything is kind of, it's kind of nice on this side and not so nice on this side. So your head is saying one thing and your heart is saying one thing. So now how do you know? How do you decide? How do you decide whether things are going to move forward or not? Because remember, I told you in the beginning that the goal is to figure out if this is going to, let's say that this is your finish line, if this relationship is going to cross the finish line or not. Because if it's not, then you want it, or you want to break this up as quickly as possible so that you don't really waste all this time and let somebody else in, and rather spend the time on someone with whom you're going to cross the finish line. So that's where Anna found herself. So that's the head ruling one place and the heart ruling in the other place. So how exactly do you resolve this kind of a situation? So the first thing is to go to a point where you can tap into something other than logic. And this point is your intuition. Intuition is not really the same thing as logic, in the sense that I'm going to share something with you here. So intuition is not really the same thing as logic, in the sense that, so logic, what logic does is it says when, then it says where, then it says why, then it says what, then it says how. Logic is going to ask all these questions in order to come to an answer. Intuition doesn't work that way. Intuition is like this: bang, here is the answer. It doesn't know when, it doesn't know where, it doesn't know why, it doesn't know what, it doesn't know how. It's like, here is the answer, take it or leave it. Well, whether or not to leave it, that's up to you, because the answer is going to be correct if you can tap into your intuition. So by tapping into your intuition, you can actually get the answer, and that is the core essence of the answer. That is something which is not logic, and that's how you can get the answer. So that is one way you can get the answer, by tapping into your own intuition. So how exactly do you do it? If let's say that your intuition is not really well developed, or you don't really know how to easily tap into intuition, or it's going to take you a long time to figure out what your intuition is saying. So the next thing you can do is look at signs from the universe. And when you look at signs from the universe, so this is your logic, okay? So this is your logic, okay? And the logic is always going to reason, and it is going to say when, where, why, what, how. And this, let's say, is the universe. And tapping into your intuition essentially is just extracting this information from the universe, and it's presented to you in the form of your intuition. So essentially, the intuition is just pulling the information from the universe and it's presenting it to you. It's just presenting the answer. Here it is, bang. So that's what tapping into the intuition is. So let's say that you can't tap into your intuition. So what do? You take this from the universe and then you connect it with the physical side or the body. So essentially this, you can call this as a spirit and you can call this as a body. So how exactly do you do it? You use signs from the universe. So Let's say the universe shows you one sign, then the universe shows you the second sign, then the universe shows you the third sign, and so on. So the universe is showing you these signs. So essentially, you are extracting the information from the universe, or you are interpreting the information from the universe, and that information is in the form of signs. And when you interpret these signs, essentially these signs are telling you whether or not you should move forward, whether the head is correct or whether the heart is correct. So that is exactly what the signs from the universe are going to show you. So how exactly did Anna resolve this situation? I already told you that her head and heart were pulling her in different directions. The head was saying no, and then the heart in this case was saying yes. Now you can also have a scenario where it is flipped, where the heart is saying no, but the head is saying yes. So it doesn't matter, but either way they are conflicting with each other. So how did Anna resolve this situation? So she already had the part where the head was saying no, and then the heart was saying yes. So as far as tapping into her intuition, she was so emotionally involved in this scenario that she found it impossible to tap into her intuition. She couldn't really go there. So tapping into her intuition was a little bit, let's say she wasn't in the space where she could do it. So then what would she do? So then she's looking for signs from the universe. And then she's asking the universe that, universe, can you just show me the signs as to what the outcome of this scenario is going to be? Because I don't want to spend my time or waste my time over something that is not going to pan out for the long run. So what exactly did she do is she asked for signs, and then she picked up one sign. She got one answer. She picked up the second sign. She got another answer. She picked up the third sign. She got the third answer. Now she has 3 different pieces of data, and then all she has to do is see if these pieces of data are all pointing to the same direction or they're pointing somewhere else. So then she goes and she looks at them and she says, oh, all these pieces of data are pointing in the same direction. So what happens? Either the head is correct or the heart is correct. Because they're conflicting with each other, both of them cannot be correct. So once she got the answer, she was really at peace because now she knew how exactly the whole scenario was going to play out. So she just had to wait and watch and see how it's going to play out. And she was much more at peace and she was much more relaxed, and she didn't feel like she needs to push things or she needs to move things forward or she needs to kind of take over the situation and drive it, which is what I see some of my clients do. I do lots and lots of readings, and trust me, I've seen a lot of different scenarios. So she didn't feel like she was or she needed to do any of those things. She felt so much at peace and she felt like she could let the situation play out. So now, if you may be wondering, how exactly did she ask for signs from the universe and how exactly do you interpret signs from the universe? So that is going to be the subject of my next video, as to how you can follow the signs from the universe to choose the right person if, let's say, your head and heart collide, or maybe you're stuck between 2 people, you don't know which one to pick. So go ahead and watch my next video. I'll see you in the next video.